Okay, so what is this dash? It is physically attached to a server. Even last time I told 3 4 times also, not your batch. Okay, so previous. This is my server. Okay, this is my server. It means like a server hardware. It's a server hardware means cabinet. Server has a hard disk, right? Like this. There is a hard disk internally, and on motherboard it is connected. On motherboard it will be connected like this, right? So it is connected to motherboard, right? What is this? It is a just an hard disk. So it is directly attached to a server. What is this meaning? It is directly attached to a server. So that we call it as a dash. What is a dash? What is the dash? Directly attached storage. Dash means direct or directly attached storage. The storage is directly attached. Storage is directly attached to a the machine. Like I am accessing my hard disk, it means directly attached storage. Of course, SAS also comes. Sorry, not SAS. It is SCSI also comes under directly attached when you are using yourself. Like I inserted a card and then I inserted a card and then I connected multiple days internally or externally. Okay, if I connected in generally like this. Okay, this is SCSI SCSI, but I am using myself SCSI not to share anybody. In that cases, this is also like a dash only directly attached. Mainly directly attached means this is directly attached. Okay, so next one is also we can say this is also attached to a server directly. Okay, so remember that one. So that is a dash. Again, Gaurav Sharma also can. Very good. Directly attached storage. So what are the advantage of dash is a easy to configure inexpensive solution. So what it is, open the cabinet, insert the disk. That's it. The dash means isolated because the disk are attached to single server, less flexible for allocation. Okay, of course, this is not accessed by any other PCs, right? Until unless you create some shared folder and all. But this is not commonly accessible. Not commonly accessible. Not a flexible. Not a flexible to access kind of stuff. Okay, and isolated because these are attached to server. It is completely isolated, so we don't know where how many disks are there, how many or how much you will put it data inside. We don't know that kind of stuff. It is not directly connected to network. It is directly connected to server, not connected to network. Okay, through network you want to store. It is depends upon your server only. You want to store some data in this hard disk through network. It is depends upon your server only. So that is the dash. But dash is compulsory. What it is? Dash is compulsory. Without a dash, like you can't put anything, right? So like operating system. What is the use of dash? Operating system, application installations, like that. It can be a normal hard disk. In a server, they prefer to use SSDs. In a servers, they prefer to use SSD. Means faster booting is possible. Application loading is fast. Processing means read and write to the hard disk is very faster. So the so compared to normal hard disk, SSD is a suitable. So this is about your dash. Dash. So what is it? Directly attach storage. direct attached storage. Okay, it attached to server directly. And what it will do, normal hard disk wise ssds, internal hard disk, internal ssds. Okay, maybe you can say SCSI also. That's if you have that one on the server. So like a on disk, like a SCSI type, SCSI disk also comes under here with SCSI controllers. Okay, it is a direct attached storage or a directly attached storage. It's easy to configure, but more isolation kind of stuff. It is isolated means we can't access the data directly. Okay, less flexible, but it's easy to configure and lesser the cost. Okay, so main purpose of this disk is installing OS applications. Okay, services like that. So this is the thing. Very simply say what is a DAS means a server with the hard disk. The hard disk we call it as a DAS. Okay, so that is it. Next storage is NAS. NAS and SAN are a centralized storage. Remember when we use a word called as centralized means NAS and SAN. Okay. What is a NAS storage? Storage that attached to a dedicated storage device and attached through network share. Access through network share. Okay. So this is NAS. What is a NAS? Network attached storage. NAS. Network attached storage. NAS. Network attached storage. Okay, so like this. What is this network attached storage? Is a file level storage. Actually it is a file level storage. It is a file level storage. So what is a file level storage? We'll see that one. What is the advantages? Okay, first we have to explain this one. So NAS is like one way we can say NAS. For example, I have a storage here. Okay, I connected a disk here, for example, because it's a little bit corner other side. This is also normal hard disk only. Just one example I'm telling, one part I'm telling. First part, here I have a shared file. I have a shared file. I shared it through network, so I can access, like a client is accessing this shared file here. The client accessing shared file, like a server. We shared so many things, right? We shared a work folder, roaming folder, keys folder, like that. We shared a folders in a server and access through client, right? So that is what we call it as a shared folders, right? So same thing, this is also we can call it as a NAS. So why we call it as that kind of stuff also? NAS means I'm not storing here, I'm not storing here, I'm storing in central. If I store in a central means anybody can access from here, right? For example, there is a common shared folder is there. Common shared folder is there. Like I share to everyone. So anybody can able to access this folder, right? Within the domain or normally in a, if you call it as in a domain or a non-domain environment. So domain, no domain, whatever it is. If I have a shared folder here, anybody can able to access from here, right? So the data is whatever the data it is there here, You can able to access from here and here. So that is also we call it as a NAS. Mainly NAS means the shared files type. File level only we are accessing, like put a data in one place and access the data directly. That is called a mm, file level storage. Okay, this is one model. This is a NAS one model. But problem is this server is connected to network. Good, no problem. But if anything happened to this server, if anything is happened to this server, I can't access this one. And the server is busy in other duties also. This is not a purely storage server. For example, if I make this one as a storage server, so I can store the data in iSCSI or another hard disk, depends upon the your expenses. You can use iSCSI for a storage or normal hard disk also. Just I created a shared folder here. Anybody can able to access that shared folder. Anybody means based on your security and sharing settings, people can able to access the data, right? So that is we call it as a NAS. Okay, that's the first type of NAS. It means I have a server. The server is name is file server. Normally, like it is like a file server, and I'm managing a storages, and I created a shared folder. So remotely, people can able to access data in the shared folder, or they will put the data. They will access the data through network. So this is a first model of NAS. Second model of NAS means we have a storage box content. It is this completely box contains CPU, RAM, and network connections and I/O part also. Okay, this is a box. Usually iSCSI type of box only there. Here we can able to insert disk. So depends upon your box, how many disks we can able to connect it. What is the maximum size of the storage also it can able to handle, like that. It contains a basic operating system, Linux based or Windows based. A basic interface operating system is there. It is connected to network, means normal LAN network only. So what it will do, so it contains an IP address. This box also has a IP address and as well as a MAC address also, of course. So what you can able to do, so for your clients, the client uh, the client is also connected to network. The client is access the data from here. So here we can create a files are there, means it is also a shared folder. It is a folder which contains the data. So I access this shared folder in a client. In these two conditions, thing is common only. That means sharing, accessing is a common. Only difference is here in a server, normal server, we have a operating system, okay, and too much of server related hardware only, okay, server related hardware and operating system, application, services, like these things will be running, and storage is directly attached, and it is we need a server permission to access this one. In this condition, directly I'm telling, it is stored in a network and we can able to access. The storage is in a this box and we can access from anywhere. So if you have a multiple clients, if you have a multiple clients, those client can able to access the data from here. Okay, maybe same data, or maybe they will access the store in a different places. So what is the advantage of it? It is a centralized one. First is a it is a centralized one. It only for managing the disk purposes only, not other services purposes. And it is connected directly to the network and it has its own IP address. So it is not depends upon other factors of normal server storage kind of stuff. So this is the one. Of course, again, we can use a server like a storage server. Okay, we can use a server to control these storages. Means if I connect a something like a printer in the network directly, anybody will take the printer. If they know IP address, start taking printing. but I want to control the users, like provide a security on this access of storages, providing a security quota, what it is, providing security. So who can able to access this particular folder, who cannot able to access this particular folder. So I can define security level, NTFS security I can able to provide through server. Okay, this is also a server. This server is control, using this server I can able to control like a print server type. Okay, I can control who can able to access and all. Next I can define a quotas, FSRM quotas. What is this quota? Means how much data user can able to put in the folder, what type of files they can put in the folder, like that we can able to define from the server also. Okay, so this is what we call it as a NAS, network attached storage. The storage is directly attached to the network and we can access through network. So this is the one side of centralized storage. So it is a centralized storage. Next, there is different protocols also using like sharing, right? So Windows we are sharing, and Linux we are sharing, Unix we are sharing. Different common protocols, sharing protocols are there. So that is also we'll see from here. Relatively inexpensive means it's expensive, expensive than normal dash, but not expensive than SAN. NAS offers centralized storage at an affordable price, easy to configure, but slower access time, not enterprise solutions. Of course, NAS is also used in enterprise, but not like a SAN type. It is only mainly for storing the data. Okay, this is the picture you can see. NAS device, it's a box. File server is controlling it. Okay, accessing the files. Okay, delivering to the clients. So that is through normal Ethernet. That's it's slower the time. Okay, these are the advantages and disadvantages of SAN. Okay, it's a file level storage. Remember, it is a file level storage. Okay, and protocols used in a SAN. So what are the protocols used in a SAN? CAFS, NFS, file access protocols. Normally, CAFS, NFS. CFS is also called as a Samba class signs, Samba Winbind kind of stuff is there. So CFS, NFS, also HTTP, FTP also we can consider as a storage kind of stuff. But directly accessing means these are the protocols. At least two protocols tell. Others also there. This is a file level storage like a shared folders in a system. So people can able to put the data in the file wise. I will put a data into, I will access in a file wise or folder wise data. I will access in file wise, folder wise. I will access. I will put the data in a file wise and folder wise only. It is a central storage to store the data mainly. Okay. So, so what is the purpose of this one? To store direct data. Okay. To store the data. Okay. So backups. If you want to put a backups also, you can store it. Okay, it use basically based on Ethernet only. That's why it is a slow Ethernet, fast Ethernet, gigabyte Ethernet based on the connectivity. Okay, so it became okay. So this is a NAS. Next, SAN. If anybody is interested, then go to SAN technologies also. SAN is little bit complex to understand because the SAN infrastructure is a very big one. Storage area network. Okay, what is a SAN? Storage area network. NAS, network area storage. Sorry, network attached storage. Network attached storage area network. So lot of people will confuse, even myself I confused in a starting time. So it is a storage area network. So SAN is a reverse type, like a network area storage. So this is not network area storage, network attached storage. Dash direct attached storage or directly attached storage, network attached storage, and storage area network. What is this? We'll see this one. It is a block level storage. This is SAN offers higher availability with the most flexibility. Okay, so high availability is also available in a, okay, sorry. Okay, it is higher availability and most flexibility. So other points here wise. Next, advantage of SAN is faster access time, easily configurable. Okay, so centralized storage and high level redundancy. More expensive, required a special skills. So, oh, now we don't need a negative points here. We'll go to all positive points. Okay, so what is this? It is a block level storage. Normally, SAN is not used like a SAN is not used like a this one. Okay, okay. So how it is? This SAN thing is there. If you want to practice NAS or SAN, there is a few softwares are available. Means my point is there is a virtual machines or a CD type is there. Like you just connect a CD, then automatically machine will be created. Or so virtual machines also there. If you double click, automatically virtual machine will be created directly. Okay. So then you can practice that free SAN, free NAS kind of stuff also. Here is a different naming structures also there. For example, this is my storage rack, means it contains a disk. Okay, these are all contains a disk. These are all contains a disk here. And the same thing is like another one, just for a high availability, like a multiple copies. Inside we can create inside of this one also we can able to create, okay, RAID concepts also, like for redundancy purpose we can create a redundancy RAID concept, we can able to create it. And there is a multiple switch architectures also there. Okay, so in generally we speak about SAN is very simple, but if you look at this structure, like it is very complex. So not very complex, but so this are multiple channels that are connected to PCs and all. So they use a fiber optical channels to communicate. Fiber optical cables, not a Ethernet cables. It's a fiber optical cables only. Very simply say, this is my server. For example, a blade. Okay, this is a server. Just think like it is a blade. It contains for internal storage SSD for storing a OS. In a real time, there is a OS storage is SSD internal DAS connection. But data storage, for a data storage, it will connected to normal data storage. It will connected to SAN, NAS. Sorry. So it is connected to NAS storage for a basic data storage. But That is for a file storage type. But this server want a disk storage, means it need a hard disk. It need a hard disk. So what I have to do, I have to insert a new hard disk, right? I have to insert a hard disk to the server. That's it, right? I need a extra hard disk. Disk 1, disk 0 is there. Now I want a disk 1, or maybe disk 2, or maybe disk 3. Like that I have to attach a disk. If you keep on attaching a disk, that's there is a one more problem. It's a physical drive. Limitation of number of disks is also there. Second, if you are keep on attaching, it is become dash, and it is more expensive if you are keep on attaching the disk. If you don't have a choice, no problem. But in enterprise, it is not the solution. So what it is there in your SAN area. So in your SAN area, so instead of putting like this, okay, here we can see I created a LUN. Okay, so sorry, redo. This is important. So forget about this left side picture. I will put a one big picture like this. It means it is a storage space. It's just a storage. Imagine it is a storage condition like a D drive, E drive. So here I will create a LUN. Just like LVM, we created a LV, right? Logical volume we created in LVM. Same thing. I will create a LUN, logical unit number. Okay, this is we call it as a LUN. This is called a LUN. Means it's just a block. Means like a virtual hard disk. Think like it is a virtual hard disk. What I done? So I connect this LUN to this server. Connect this LUN to this server. So then it will create like this. It means this is the actual storage. This is the actual storage, but it is attached here like a disk. So it's look like there is a disk one, but really disk one is not connected to server. Disk one is a block in the SAN storage block. It is a just a block. Understand? So it is a just a block. So to create a block, we have to tell this is a LUN. Okay, LUN. Different names are there. Logical unit number, and not only LUN, we have to QU. So I will go to that one. I will tell you that one again. Okay. So very simply say it is called a simple LUN I created in my SAN storage. In total SAN storage, the machine is there, like application management is also there. So through this one, I can manage these things. So I will create a LANs in here and give it to clients. So for a client, it is not a folder. For a client, it is not a folder. It is not a file. It is not a shared folder. It is not a shared file. It is a disk. Disk means a block. So directly disk 1, disk 2, disk 3, how you are getting, same ways only we are getting. Simple example, if you for your recall, I told virtual hard disk. The virtual hard disk, when you create a virtual hard disk and we are connect a virtual hard disk and it is look like a hard disk, right? Same thing is there for a SAN storages. We create a blocks and we connect the block to different servers. So server can able to store the data here directly, like they store in an internal machine, and we can able to you put a data here, and also we can configure for this LANs redundancy also, because of RAID and all created inside already. So I took it. For example, this is a write space, 3 disk write space is there. So in that one I created a LAN. In that one I created a LAN. Automatically redundancy apply, right? So disk failure also, LAN is alive. Even one disk is failure, LAN is alive. So this is a block level storage. This is called a block level storage. What is a block level storage? Access the blocks, LUNs connected to server directly. Okay, it's a block level storage. High availability is most flexible. Okay, faster access because of fiber channels. Centralized storage, of course, both are centralized storage. When name comes up with what is a centralized storage, NAS and SAN, both are centralized storage. Next time Next classes we need to understand that. Okay, and it is use either fiber channel or a iSCSI storages. If you just put it in a what is this SAN fiber channels, fiber cables, fiber channels. See how it is connected, fiber things. So you get this FC channels, host, storage array means where we put a disk. Okay, storage array ports connected to FC switches, and it is again connected through our host. So host will control like that. So different things are there. There is a one guy is giving a free SAN how to create it, but he use a lot of switches, complete structure. He try to do it. That is like a flicker box is there. No, not this one. So I forget again. Server NAS. This is name. So, SAN is the most common English name, so that's why unable to recall his name. It is there. It is in my YouTube also. Yeah, this candidate only.
In today's cloud and data center
Flag
environments, it's no
box.
longer possible to get by knowing.
Okay, so flag box storage tutorials are there. So it is better to watch if possible. And another problem with anything is like yeah, NetApp tutorial you will give. Okay, so lot of tutorials are there. So one tutorial is this is introduction to SAN and NAS. This is to NAS storage overview. Uh, this is the his channel, Flickerbox channel. Okay, so his introduction to that one. Okay, this is a NetApp lab. How to build your free NetApp lab. Okay, for SAN people who are interested. Some of you are very interested in networking related, right? If you are very interested in networking side, it means it is um, you can better go with SAN. Also is a best one. Okay, so is his channel on tap. This is how to build a NetApp on tab lab. So little complex, but it is try. I'd like to try 2 3 times. I download everything and I keep it one side, but I didn't get much chances to do it. Okay, so, okay, try this one. I got a 3 notifications. Even I don't know how to check it. Okay, so this is how SAN is look like this one. See, these are the fiber optical connections like this. Compulsory everything is a dual channels, minimum 2 connections are required. Why? Because of if one line is down, storage will stop. Think guys, you have a system and you have a one single hard disk, something happens, what is the worst thing will happen? Means if storage is down our system is down or a switch is down, what is the most worst thing will happen? Not much, right? So like last time, I think Ajinkya or someone is done like um, formatted entire VC. So what will happen if very less data? So not even we don't worry about it. Think how many companies store the data in one single unit. Like I'm a company and then I'm also storing a data in my storage. I'm maintaining a storage. Lot of company data, project data, analysis data, lot of information is there. If if you are unable to access the data, main point is maybe you have a data in your disk and you have a backup in a disk, but when it is down automatically, any reason, either it is directly disk down, network down, you are accessing through network, right? So network down or slow down, anything down. So it is danger for a company is unable to give 100% uptime running. So then automatically it is not good for organization. So what will happen? What will happen? They will sue, like they will get unable to access that, so that's not good, right? So that's why they will give you a multiple channel wise. Okay, multiple why is it they will create like this? Okay, so because of that one, so if one side, one switch is down or one line is down or maybe things are down, so you still you can able to access the data. Pro Max. Okay, so this is a flag box. This is a one word is came up, that is a HBA. What is a HBA? HBA means host bus host bus adapter, and is used to connect block level storage such as fiber channels, SATA, SCSI. NIC is for a network adapter. Okay, so that is here it is giving what is the meaning of HBA. Lot of meanings are given. There's a different type of HBAs also available. HBA, but this is a good one. So SAN, in a SAN usually earlier in a SAN they're using iSCSI, other fiber optical channels. The fiber optical channels are replaced by HBA, host bus adapter. So it connects everything type only. So we'll go to this again. Sorry, I am not stopping, unable to stop. This is the HBA. Okay, so connect through the fiber optical channels only, but it is try to connect to other things also. Okay, 4 GB dual channel PCI flat. So 4 GB dual channel it is. See? Means each channel 4 GB data we can able to send and receive. So connection is fiber optical connections only. Okay, fiber optical connections only. So he is closing like this is okay. So they the traditional fiber optical channel is removed, and it is came up to connect your server. So 16 GB 2 port fiber channel HPA card. You can purchase it in India also directly. You can purchase Amazon like that also. You can buy it to connect a storage to server. Okay, and this is go through once if possible. I think so. It is very small, at least for introduction, and later if you can go. Okay, so later you can go through once about the storage related. VMware vSphere and NetApp. So if I go like this, I will get mad, and again I will start learning. That is the problem. Okay, so this is SAN storage. one more storage is there, that is called iSCSI storage. So these boxes will having a storage array switches to connect these different storage things to devices like that. Okay, this is a storage switches and servers to maintain the access. Okay, and so dash NAS SAN differences. What is the dash? Least complex, lowest setup cost. NAS best solution for a specific solutions. Okay, situations complementary to dash and NAS. SAN is also, sorry, NAS is also a centralized storage, and like a middle level organization, lower level organization, people who cannot able to put a more time more, so we want to store the data in a centrally. NAS is the best solution. NAS is the best solution. File level we can able to store the data. SAN is a for a high speed performance requirement, higher data storage purposes, more redundancy purposes, we can use a SAN storage, more redundancy. Fiber optic channels also we are using SAN. Okay, NAS is a very easy to share the data, managing shared data. Using a certain servers like a storage servers, we can manage the NAS easily. But SAN is a more complex. There is like a NetApp is a one of the application to manage. So most popular is NetApp. NetApp application. Most popular application is NetApp. Okay, so in that one, Windows Server storage features are expanding, improve capabilities when using dash. Okay, dash is like a internal hard disk type. NAS is a central storage for storing the files using a sharing NFS and CAFS sharing techniques. SAN is a block level storage. It's a huge number of storage using a fiber optical channels and access. That's the differences. Okay. What is a block level storage and file level storage is given here. It's a high performance, often SAN based, present lunch to servers, and not most cost effective. Okay, so deliver via NAS storage server or a file server. Use a CAFS or Samba sharing folders, NFS kind of stuff. Use blocks level storage on a storage backend. What is storage backend means? In the block storage, you can put a file storage also. We can't use file level storage as a block level storage, but there is a block level storage internally inside of that disk. You can create a shared folders right there. So that is the difference between block level storage and file level storage. Already I explained. That's why just I'm just keep reading. How much you will remember in this and this. This is a fiber channels. Fiber channel important include a SAN storages access. We use a fiber optic channel. The computer with the HBA card. Okay, fiber channel switches. Okay, so there are components we are seeing like a sandboxes having a directly fiber channel communication, and computer, normal computer or a server with a HBA card installed. Already I showed HBA host bus adapter. It's just like NIC you're attaching it. It the data transmission is through fiber channels. Fiber channel switches also there where we switching it. Fiber channel over Ethernet FCOE. Okay, and another is fiber channel layout include abbreviated loop point to point something is there. Okay, already that one. So what is the one more word sentence we have to do? So HBA. Okay, this is a HBA. I'm including everything here, so otherwise I will give a little bit gap, so then we'll separate this thing. HBA FCOE. FCOE. What is this? Fiber channel over Ethernet. SAN storages. So the SAN storages are the fiber data transmission is there. But internal network means inside a server room, you use a fiber channel for data, faster data communication. But externally, we are using laptops, desktop. We don't have fiber channels on my desktop, right? Okay, we don't have fiber channels on my desktop. So on desktop, we don't have a fiber channel, right? So we are using a normal Ethernet connections only. So how to communicate a server or a storage which is using a fiber channel and our system using Ethernet channels. So what is the connection? It is fiber channel or Ethernet. So we have to. This is also adapter type. So we insert fiber channel receive and send through our Ethernet only. So this is FCOE. Okay, fiber channel or Ethernet. That is also try to check the picture FCOE. It is like this. Where is easy picture? I will try. So fiber channel driver, network driver, and it is FCOE through. It is going to LAN like this. Okay, coverage network adapter. No, no, converged network adapter. Okay, it is having a both fiber channel and Ethernet channel. So if you have fiber channel, you can go to normal HBA. If you have a server or a system with a NIC switches, then we can go for it. A lot of pictures are there. Just knowing the terminology is, I think, it is enough. Okay. Why I have to go through all these things? More, more importance. Why I am giving? Already I told just starting only. It means we don't know what project you will get it. You may get a project in different areas, and one of the area is storage also. One of the area is storage also. World having a lot of problems nowadays. Not a coronavirus, I'm telling. In IT field, we have a few solutions or a few managements are required. Lot of people said IT will up and down kind of stuff. But my point it is, what is IT? They don't know. So that's why they don't know what it is. Okay. In IT, one of the major important is infrastructure services. What is infrastructure managing of data centers? What is infrastructure management? Managing a data centers. Data center means one of the part, major part of the data center is storage. Major part of the data center is storage. So storing the data, redundancy, backup. Remember this. The storage, storing, storage. First is storing, right? You have to store it. Redundancy. Redundancy. I put a redundancy. Redundancy. So what I typing also? Okay. Storing, redundancy, backup. These three are a major part of managing infrastructure service because data is very important. In a per second, how much data is producing? How much data is producing? Even I didn't expect I will put a one video in YouTube. Okay, so I never expect earlier. I don't like to upload or putting things into the YouTube, but in my almost like see the lot of subscriber came. I don't know even how many are our candidates are subscribed. My point is only for our students only, or my friends or anybody. Okay, so this is 51 subscribers are there, of course. But if you see total number of videos, also very high. Okay, so if you click on these videos, somewhere it will show the number. Okay, yeah, we have to go to customize channels, manage videos. That time I will get it. Okay, okay. So whatever it is, almost more than 200 videos I uploaded. Okay, every day minimum 4 to 3 to 5, 5. Okay, 4 5 videos we are uploading. Each one is almost like a 40 minutes to 1 hour videos. So every second lot of data is generating. So this data should be stored somewhere, right? This we are generating means we are storing data in somewhere. Okay, so this is a managing of storage is very important. And redundance means if we are storing a data in a disk, whether it is you seen or not seen, we are storing the data in a disk space only. We don't have a choice to store in any other places, right? We are storing in a disk space only, directly or indirectly. Like you are storing in a cloud means somewhere it is a hard disk only. Directly for me it is not a hard disk, but actually it is stored in a somewhere in a hard disk, right? And if disk failures or somewhere the storage device is failures, they have to maintain redundancy means even the disk failure they can able to access the thing. Other network redundancy or other redundancy maintenance is important. Another one is backup. If any case you lost the data or deleted the data from your space, you can able to recover it from your backup location. So that is the thing. So these are a major things, one of the major things in IT organizations. Whether your software development is there, not there, new projects are there, not there, managing of data center is very important because lot of development is change between last 20 years. Okay, from last 20 years, lot of changes occur. Now it is more changes are there. So these data centers are made. So one of the major part of data center is managing storage. Guys, if you anybody got a project in a data center administration, network administration, next storage related thing, don't say sir it is a storage, it is not a Python, not this one, not this one. So whatever it is in that one, first accept the project. If you got this kind of projects also, no problem, go for it. It is permanent job type only. Okay, so because it's a forever. Okay, so these are the things. Already I told what is learn, what is learn, logical unit number. Yeah, tell me.
So redundancy storage means unwanted storage, na?
No, redundancy means backup type means redundancy means little bit difference is there. For example, the meaning of redundancy means um, for example, you have a my example I'm telling. I didn't wash my this cooker and all kind of stuff. My utils. I didn't wash, for example. But I want to cook something, right? What I have to do? So I need at least two pairs. Then what happen? You can use one. If something is goes wrong, then you can use two. So your work is not stopped, right? It's not like a complete backup. Backup means keep everything into the one location. If something is failure, you can able to restore it. That is a called a backup. But redundancy means if one server failure, no problem. Second server will give you services. Okay, so like that. If you have
Alternate source.
if you have a mobile, for example, when smart mobile came into market, till date, lot of people use a future phone. Future phone is you very useless phone. Okay, we don't do anything except the calling and messaging, right? So okay, so we are still lot of people keep one future phone in mobile. Why? Because of it is like a backup type. If main mobile phone failure, still you can able to calls to someone. For example, think you have a two mobile phones. Think just imagination. You're actually very good question because lot of people confuse between what is redundancy and backup. Okay, if I have a two mobile phones, I'm using one mobile phone. This is main phone. Okay, I'm using it. Suddenly this phone is not working. Charging is over. So I have another phone. I am start calling from here. But both phone numbers are different. That is a one scenario. I'm telling it is. If I copy all the data, if I copy all the data into a device, means hard disk or something, somewhere I put a data into this one of this mobile phone. If mobile phone is not working now, mobile phone is this mobile phone is not working, and you have to call to someone. The contact list is in this one. So you have to repair this one, and you have to restore the data and start working, right? So this is called a backup. Backup means you put all the data into one location. For example, contact list, basic files and all, you could pick it in a separate location. If in case anything happened to this server, no problem, data is safe. And if once you are this device is working, you can restore it. So this is, we call it as a backup. So that is a main utilization of backup. Next, for example, what is redundancy? My mobile phone charging over, I have another mobile phone with full charging, full battery charging is there. So my mobile phone charging is down. What I done, I take a SIM card and put it in this mobile phone, start calling. What happened? Job is not stopped, right? Job is not stopped. So whenever this is down, no problem, you can use another one. So that is called a redundancy. For example, another easy example, which is we in some places we use this kind of scenario. I have two computers, a switch is there. Think this is like it is connected. Good, right? Two PCs, one switch. If in case this wire is cut, so this PC cannot communicate. What I done, I have a little bit fear complex person. So what I done, so I put another NIC and I put another connection. What happened? I have one connection and I have another connection also. So one PC having two NICs. One PC having two NICs. Okay. If one NIC failure or one cable is cut, can I able to communicate? Yes, because I have another wire. Understand now? So what is the redundancy? Guys, everybody should understand what is the redundancy. Redundancy, failover, load balance. These are three important words. I will tell. It is here. It is redundant. Why I
Sir
am
means
not
like alternate resource.
redundant. That's spelling. Yeah. Tell me now. I didn't
Like
get.
alternate resource.
Yes, alternate resource.
Uh, for
Same
performing
resource
same operation.
for same operation, same task only. Alternate solution, alternate connection or alternate solution. So for same thing only. So two identical things. One is down immediately, other will work. Means the downtime will won't stop here. Somewhere I put a redundancy, but I didn't able to see that one. Where I put it? So now balance. So we'll see that one later. See guys, it is redundant. Redundancy. Redundancy. What is redundancy? What is a failover or fault tolerance? What is a fault tolerance? Fault tolerance is also failure type, means one is down, another is up. High availability, high availability. Okay. Load balance, balance or balancer. Load balance or load balancer. Load balance or load balancer. These are definitions and all. You have to thoroughly check. Find out in Google and read it. What is the high availability? What different type of high availabilities? Terminologies used for high availability. What is HA? High availability means HA. Load balancer. What is a load balancer? What is failover? Difference between failover and high availability, fault tolerance, where we use. Okay, so what is the downtime and what is the uptime? What is uptime? What is downtime? Okay, so that is also find out. Downtime, uptime, load balancer, high availability, 100% high availability, 99.99% high availability, uptime 99.99% uptime. Okay, like this. Okay, lot of things are there also in the redundancy. I told our understanding. I told like this. Okay, so there are a lot of places giving a extra connections. What is the extra connections for? If in case one line is down, no problem, still we can able to communicate. Means the service never down. The service uptime downtime means important is the service, the client, what are the service you are giving to the client, the service should not be down. So for that one we are using this failover and high availability or load balancers. So that we called as a redundancy services. Service down. What is this terminology? Service should not be down. This is the main part of your infrastructure services. The importance of infrastructure services. This is only failover, high availability, downtime, uptime, load balancer, like this only. Okay. It contains so many things, so don't worry about fiber channel and all. So we'll Ice Kazi will tell, but I took lot of time already.